Ashton Kutcher's faced a lot of scrutiny for who he's friends with, but now things have gotten worse where he's been warned by Mila Kunis over his friendship with P Diddy. Ashton Kutcher and P Diddy first met in 2003 when Ashton Kutcher was hosting the show Punk'd and P Diddy came on as a guest. That interaction was different from how the show normally worked, where P Diddy called Ashton Kutcher the night before wanting to know exactly how he's going to be punked, and if he didn't like it, he wasn't going to go on. Still, the two developed a friendship that's now been under a lot of scrutiny, with one example being Ashton Kutcher and P Diddy inviting a 12-year-old Debbie Chase to come to a party at P Diddy's house. It also impacted Ashton Kutcher's career, where he said the entire reason he did the movie Guess Who, which made $103 million on a budget of $35 million, was because of P Diddy's impact on him for race relations. Now a new clip from 2019 has gone viral of Ashton Kutcher on Hot Ones, where he's bragging about all the crazy things he did with P Diddy at the parties that he couldn't say on camera. Which is definitely something Ashton Kutcher regrets saying, because P Diddy currently has 130 charges against him from the abuse, and also they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil at his house. Farnsworth Bentley, who used to be P Diddy's driver and personal assistant, came out saying Ashton Kutcher and many other celebrities knew exactly what P Diddy was doing, and some were involved in the acts. Right now, Ashton Kutcher is trying to stay silent on this, not trying to defend his friend P Diddy after the disaster when he defended his friend Danny Masterson. Danny Masterson was sentenced to 30 years in prison after being found guilty on 2 claims of assault, and he also had 4 other accusers that were female. Danny Masterson would have actually had more charges against him and went to jail sooner if he didn't bring girls to the Church of Scientology, where he had them sign contracts with the church where they couldn't sue him. And the Church of Scientology actually went to the Supreme Court saying that they had no right to charge Danny Masterson, but they were ultimately rejected and not given trial. Where a lot of people were shocked and disgusted was both Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote letters to the judge after he was found guilty asking for a light sentence on Danny Masterson. But Danny Masterson's ex, who was also one of his victims, Chrissy Bixler, said the entire reason Ashton and Mila defended Danny was not because they thought he was innocent, but instead because they didn't want Danny Masterson to blab about the Ashley Ellerin murder. Ashley Ellerin was a 22-year-old woman who was dating Ashton Kutcher that was found dead in 2001. She was one of 3 confirmed and 10 potential killers to the Hollywood Ripper, who was a serial killer in Southern California. Before the police found Ashley Ellerin, Ashton Kutcher actually went to her house to pick her up for a date, where he said all the lights were on, he saw red stuff on the floor, but he thought it was spilled wine. Danny Masterson's ex, Chrissy Bixler, said Ashton Kutcher is lying to everyone, and he was actually completely aware Ashley Ellerin was dead. Chrissy Bixler saying that Ashton Kutcher called Danny Masterson that night asking what to do about the dead body, and Danny Masterson told him to just leave. Chrissy Bixler explaining that Danny Masterson thought O.J. Simpson was actually innocent in a police setup, and if Ashton Kutcher called the cops, they'd set him up the same way. And then there was also another Danny Masterson accuser who said that she was assaulted in a hotel room by Masterson, and Ashton Kutcher was in the next hotel room, heard everything, but didn't do anything. Because Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis defended Danny Masterson, they got heavy hate from the public, and it was why they didn't reappear on That 90s Show. Mila Kunis was also met with a lot of criticism last year because she was fined $1 million by the SEC for a crypto scam, Stoner Cats. Stoner Cats were an NFT created by Mila Kunis to try and fund an animated series, but it never got off the ground and investors were screwed over and given false information. Because of all this, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are staying out of the public eye, where they're considering moving to Europe and they're not taking on any new movie or TV roles. Now Mila Kunis has put a strong warning against Ashton Kutcher due to all these controversies, saying if he comes out supporting P Diddy, she will divorce him. And there's also the reality that P Diddy was friends with Ashton Kutcher's ex-wife Debbie Moore, and he wanted the two to work it out and stay together and not have him get with Mila Kunis. Because of Danny Masterson, P Diddy, and crypto scams, the two of them have had a lot of damage on their reputation, and with that, I'm Charles Peralta. Please subscribe to learn something.